I've asked you lovely peeps, and you've all said we might have an idea. The non-committal answer. Well, we've been bouncing around a few ideas. Care to elaborate? We think Grange might have been tangled up with the Resistance. Particularly the cell run by Zala. You know how I like this, because we're giving him information, and he's like, thank you. But we're sort of, leaving out all the other important stuff. Of course, we've noticed increased activity in her cell recently. Us too, so we think the person in the photo with Grange could be Zala herself or one of her followers. Interesting theory. Silence descends on the room. The captain slowly sits back down in his seat behind his desk and gestures for us to sit in the chairs opposite. He shuffles papers around his desk as Blue and I sit, our hands accidentally brushing. I feel a wave of heat run through my body, starting at my hand. Oh, please. I look at Blue, turning my head slightly. Blue's eyes trace down the side of my face, briefly before meeting mine with a small grin. Less said about that, the better. The look is broken when the enforcer re-enters the room carrying a file with the photographs. She hands them to the captain and exits once more. Captain Wells examines the file briefly. Well, it appears your theory was a good one. The man in the photo with Grange has been identified as a rebel nicknamed Sandman. We know he's one of Zala's cronies. Got him. Sandman added to the dossier. Let's look. I guess it'd be individuals. It is. Well, he looks like an evil person. I mean, first of all, he's doctor and Russian. 2 immediate alarm bells in anywhere. Must be a criminal. And, I mean, just look at him. It's crazy professor written all over it. Sandman, the bringer of sweet dreams. Ironic. More like creepy, but for some reason the name sounds familiar. That's so. It was my brother! Oh, no. Yeah, I think the Bureau has an open file on him. So Zala is as good as guilty. I wouldn't be so hasty. If memory serves, the file is partially focused on whether this guy has broken away from Zala's cell. Add that to the fact that this is an abnormally brazen attack which is outside Zala's usual wheelhouse. No, it doesn't quite add up. But you were behind the theory just a minute ago. What changed? Just a feeling. If the person had been Zala in disguise or one of her direct underlings, I would be more convinced, but Sandman's been off the radar for a while. Is he going full weirdo and trying to say that it's like framing and stuff? He and Zala may have had a falling out. Besides, this attack in the dome is unlike her. She keeps to the outer city as much as possible and only kills when absolutely necessary. Do I need to remind you that she had a knife at my throat less than 24 hours ago? Yes, but she didn't actually use it, did she? Well, you were the one saying that had you not got here, weird shit would happen. You were the one who told me you had that future vision. That doesn't matter. Anything else you fellows might need? Us fellows. Right now, we need to talk to someone close to Zala and figure out if the Sandman is still one of hers. The rebel we captured in the alley? Great minds. That was my thought as well. Captain? One moment. The captain reaches for a phone on his desk, which was buried under so much paper that I didn't even know it was there. He dials, listens, and after a moment begins speaking. It's Captain Wells. I need to know where the rebel we captured yesterday is. Yeah, from the alley. Then hurry up, you idiot. Wells, how can they not know where he is? Oh yeah, he's in one of the cells, but we sort of threw away the key. Wells slams down the phone before turning back to us. The rebel's still being interrogated by my forces. You'll need to wait a little while before we have the info you need. We'll get it out of him, trust me. I mean, the fact that you're having to say trust me is a bad indication to your skills, or what we know your skills to be. Very well, thank you for your assistance, Captain. We don't have anything else for you. Come on, Violet. We stand and leave the room as the captain goes back to shuffling papers around his desk. Stepping out into the hall, we are again met with the parting of enforcers and waves of silence. The scent of iron that hangs in the air seems to have grown stronger in the short amount of time we were in the captain's office. We walk briskly down the hall and push outside into the afternoon light. Did you smell that? Or are you going to say something like bullshit or hopefully iron? Yeah. What was it? Blood. God, I'm hoping that... The less said, the better. Once we get back into the car, we head west towards the edge of the dome. Blue is caught up in thought, so I'm silent as well. He must be thinking about all the things we've learned so far, Grange, Zala, the Sandman. If Grange was selling his decryption abilities, then why would they have killed him? Could it mean that they got what they were after, or could he have been selling something else? I stare out the window and watch the streets flash by. Wait, where are we going? Just as I open my mouth to speak, Blue answers my question by pulling the car into the parking lot of a small restaurant. Am I being forced into a date? Come on, I'm buying you a drink. Oh, okay. That is better than a date. A little early for a drink, isn't it? Don't know about that. Is it past 11 a.m.? We've already been to a murder scene, interrogated a witness, and dealt with Wells. I'd say all that merits a drink. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll buy you some lunch to make it seem even more legit. That's not exactly what I meant. Come on, Vi. Yeah, okay. Well, if you had called me anything else, maybe I wouldn't have come along. Very nice. Fletcher's. Ugh. No one here. Weirdly, we're the only two people here in this bar. Well, it genuinely must be too early to go drinking. We walk into the small restaurant and it immediately turns to night around us. The small space has close wood panelled walls, and tightly drawn burgundy curtains that keep even the most brazen ray of light from penetrating its depths. They call them chastity curtains, they don't. Sit anywhere, I'll be right back. Blue wanders off towards the bar and I choose a booth in the corner, far from the windows and with a view of the rest of the room. I like having my back to the wall, I can keep an eye on anyone moving around in my space. Sure, why not? I'm hoping he knows what drink you tend to like, Violet, because this could end very poorly. You don't offer to, order a drink for someone unless you know what you're going to order. The table is rickety and the small lamp adorning it shakes wildly when I sit down and accidentally bump the edge of the table. I press my palms against the cool tabletop to settle it. I tap my fingers lightly on the table and my leg twitches up and down momentarily before I settle it with my hand. I look up and see Blue making his way over to the table with 2 drinks in his hand. Why am I nervous? Here, a smell from the barrel. Oh, you make it sound so attractive. Thanks. Her sentiment matched mine quite neatly. Blue nods and sits down, setting the lamp shaking again. Well? Don't suppose you figured all of this out? Have you? What were the chances of that working? Just out of interest. Should I have? No, just wishful thinking. I sometimes think we'll never get to the bottom of this all. I mean, there's resistance. What you expect? Oh, I found the headquarters. Good, we'll nuke it. Like, it's not gonna work. He gestures around him, then lays his hands next to his drink on the table. His eyelids look heavier than they do outside. He looks exhausted. For some reason, I feel sympathy sweep through me. Well, yeah, we're having different feelings here. These sudden emotional outbursts are getting more and more frequent. Before I know what I'm doing, I reach my hand across the table to lay on top of his. Blue looks taken aback, but I can feel a sudden shot of happiness go through him. I'm stunned by my own abashed gesture and quickly remove my hand. Sorry. You felt the happiness! What are you apologizing for? You know he liked it. It's the aroused feeling you need to be on the lookout for. No, it was nice, thank you. My face feels warm and I know a deep blush is creeping up my cheeks. This needs to stop. I clear my throat. So you don't think Sandman works for Zala anymore? All business. No, I don't, or at least that's my guess. There is an awkward pause. I look down at the drink in my hands and keep my eyes still as I feel Blue's eyes working their way across my face. The way this keeps being described is weird. It's like analytical. I wish he would stop looking at me or keep looking. I'm not sure. I let out a frustrated sigh. May I ask you a question? No, you may not borrow my crayons. The formality of his question surprises me. I suppose so. Okay, that is too long a question to be about crayons. Obviously, you don't remember your life before you became an agent, just like everyone else. But do you have any, I don't know, feeling about why you joined the brewery? Why I joined? That would say to me that you may have an idea. Violet? No, it's nothing, I'm fine. So I'm guessing you drew a blank then. I think so. What's that supposed to mean? No, I don't remember anything. Not even my first few weeks as an agent. Sometimes I feel like I just sprang from the ground, fully formed as Violet with no other life. It is a bit unusual to not even have a faint idea of why. You? Me, I always had the feeling that I wanted to be an agent because it seemed heroic. The powers, the secret identity, even from yourself. It was like being a superhero. Okay, we're going to find out his backstory, and it's going to be that he was running away from something. That is never the case. No one is ever, oh yeah, well I was a hero. But it's not like that, is it? I feel like I go around in circles and never get anywhere. From the rebels, to the enforcers, to the Bureau, to the Selenon, back to the rebels. It's never ending, and it doesn't seem to be doing any good. I don't think things are going to get better. We're under alien control with the Resistance. Of course it's not going to get any better. That was unexpected. Do you really think things are that bad? I think there's a lot of bad bureaucracy in the Bureau. I think people like Red have too much power and not enough checks on that power. But mostly, I think we don't understand the most important question of our world, of our entire race's existence. What did we do to the Selenon that caused them to destroy so much of humanity? Well, what did we do? You think we did something? Oh, what? You think they did it? You thought they just for no reason came up with a bloodthirsty thing, murdered everyone and went, actually, we're going to take control of this world. Why else would they have killed so many of us? I always figured they were just monsters. Do monsters need a reason? Just remember that they're probably listening. You've never seen a Selenon before, have you? No, I haven't. Well, I have, and well, I don't think it's that simple. For hundreds of years, we've lived like prisoners. Because we are prisoners, but ask yourself, why do we lock people away? Is when they do something seen as unforgivable by society at large. When do we, as a species, kill? When we've been wronged, so it follows that the Selenon are doing something similar. My head is spinning. I've never considered the causes of the Selenon War, only the repercussions. No one's thought about this? Wow, Violet is... She's sort of banking her special ability's going to carry her, isn't she? Because her brain's clearly not doing the work. It's not even doing overtime. We can't question them. Who cares? What good will that do? That one. Because I want to know, but why does it matter? Does it matter, V? Why wouldn't it matter? We're investigators, right? Yes. Our single purpose, the entire idea behind our creation, red, green, yellow, blue, violet, all of us, was to find answers. I love how they just gave him like a hair colour and a name. They couldn't just call one Steve and Bob. There was the reason our former slaves gave their lives over to the Bureau and their cause. To find answers. Also, that says selves, not slaves. But why that question? It's the biggest question there is. Maybe, but why? What good will it do to us to find the answer? I don't think anyone is beyond redemption. I don't think that one side has to die to come to a solution. I stare at Blue wide-eyed. He must have become friends with the Selenon? Or allies, or make up with them for some unknown misdeed that may not even exist? I don't know what more to think, but I've never seen or felt him more engaged or more alive than he is in this moment. I mean, that's completely reasonable. He wants to stop being a slave, and you're just like, oh no, damn you. No, we should just keep going on, mildly bitter and angry at the situation. There is another pause. I look him straight in the eye, this time, and he looks straight back. The man is not who I thought he was. From this time, as Red's partner, I would have guessed he would be cruel and uncaring. I would have thought he would be lifeless, but this man is passionate. Has there been anything to indicate that he's been lifeless and boring? You're not who I thought you would be. Oh yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, a good thing, I think. Yeah, I'll go with that as well, I think. Good. Suddenly, his hand reaches across the table and grabs mine. He pulls it halfway back across the table so that our hands are joined in the middle of the dimly lit surface. I feel shy, but I need to ask him. Blue, Can I ask you what... Were you and Red, I don't know, a thing? He laughs. A thing? It's not funny. Yes, a thing. Despite not being an empath... I don't know what that means. Blue seems to get the message. He straightens up in his chair and looks me in the eyes. Seriously. I can feel the suppressed amusement, but there's also a layer of genuine concern and seriousness. No, we weren't. I thought they were. Where did I get the idea that they were from then? Whatever. She seemed surprised. Before you came onto the scene, Red was different. Not on the outside, but we always watched each other's backs. I bet you did. But a few years back, she changed. She started becoming distant and only cared about training her powers. I asked her what was wrong. I wanted to help her. But she said I had become too weak for her. She told me to fill the paperwork and go solo. It would be better that way. Oh, how cold. Alright, we know he's going to turn on us eventually. That's unforgivable. No, Vite, you don't get it. The Red I would know would never say something like that. I know she just wanted to protect me. From what, I can't fathom, but to make her act this way, it must be something huge. Is this tied into the Selenon? She was getting too high and learning too much weird shit. Must have been a hard pill to swallow. But, that being said, I think if I'd asked, she would have said yes. An evil grin is spreading across his face. I start to pull my hand away from his, but he holds on tighter. Yeah, great. I'm sure you wanted to know that, Violet. Oh, yeah? Yeah, Ace. I'm quite charming, in case you hadn't noticed. Well, you have to wait for others to compliment you. I really hadn't. Ouch. Well, you asked. A small grin has crept onto my face. I can't help it. Is that... No, it can't be. Is that a smile? Stuff it, Blue. But now a full-fledged smile has made its way onto my face. It feels weird, but good. Oh, what an emo you must be. He's interrupted by the chirp of his responder. He sighs, lets go of my hand, and pulls the transponder out of his pocket. Blue. Oh no, they've gotten rid of my pupils! Oh no, sorry, it says my weird glasses. This is Miss Pierce speaking. You and Agent Violet are needed back at headquarters immediately. The smile slips off my face as I'm dragged back into reality. What am I doing? I'm a bureau agent. We're both agents. We have things we should be doing. Right, we're on our way. We're already in the dome. We'll be there in 10. Don't be any longer, the Chief is asking for you. Copy that, Blue out. Blue quickly puts the transponder back in his pocket and pushes himself out of the small booth. I get up and follow him to the door, leaving a half-empty drink sitting on the table. He stops just inside the heavy wooden door and I nearly knock into him. What, did he forget how a door works? No, he's probably going to say don't mention that shit about the Selenon. Just as I'm about to reach past him and open the door myself, Blue reaches out a hand and stops me. He puts his other hand under my chin and I look up at him in the dark warmth of the restaurant. This isn't over, eh? It's not by a long shot. Well, that was fucking ominous.